Hello, hello, Zen friends. Welcome to a special Friday night session where I come back on to finish out all the readings from the earlier session that I did not get to. If you're checking into the stream while I am live, if you look down in the description box of the video, it has the list of the order in which I'm going to complete the readings. I start off with donations, and then I'm a YouTube channel member, free readings, and then into the other long list of free readings. So you can kind of see where we're at. When I'm done with the stream, I will post a comment, um, a pinned comment with all the names with the timestamps next to it. So you can just click on it and go to your reading. But that'll be once I'm done with the stream. So we'll be on for a little while. I do have several donations. Thank you guys so much for your patience in getting to your readings. I know you patiently wait, and I want you to know that I'm grateful for that. And for all the donations, all the support, all the thumbs up. I wouldn't be doing any of this without all of you all. So thank you so much for spreading the love along with me. What else? What else? What else? You'll see there's no chat in this session. I'm not taking any new requests. This is just for makeup for the earlier session. I will be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time and Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, but also tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. If you'd like to join me then for more questions, I'll be happy to help. All right. So let us get started here. So up first, let's take a look here. So up first, we do have Valerie. Thank you so much, Val. I know we were so close, Valerie, weren't we? Let me just put your timestamp here. You were next, and then I ran out of time. So thank you so much. I know it's like so close, but it's so far. So thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. And you wanted a general read. So let's take a look here and see what Spirit wants you to know right now, Valerie. All right, so we do have those two, and then they want that one, and then that one, and they want these two, and then these two after that. All right, so you can kind of see the cards. You see all the little array here. Let's take a look. So you got 2 and 1, and 1 and 2, and then these two here. Bottom of the deck, you do have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is an energy of higher love, happiness, higher emotion, can be a heightened relationship. We'll see more details. So we dive in here. Let's see what we got coming in. All right. Well, you do have an Ace of Wands, which is a new passion, a new energy, a new excitement. And with the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles is my home card, which is about an energy of, I mean, it can be a home because it's four walls in the outside world, but it's also about security and the feeling of home in the outside world. So there's happiness here. Let's see what. Let's get some more detail. Queen of Swords. That is a balance between head and heart, but it's also a card that represents like a very compatible person. So I'm feeling like this is leaning towards a relationship reading with this energy. We'll see more as we continue on here, but it does feel like it is someone that is this match, someone that fits like a glove, someone that can communicate their emotions, but it's not so much in their head they don't know what an emotion is, or so much in their emotions that they're emotionally unstable. It's someone that's just really a good fit. Communicate, can have great conversations with, can feel and express emotion. What? I know. But so this is feeling, and again, this energy of feeling like at home with someone. Yeah, we have the Three of Wands. This does feel like this is a different direction than you normally would go on how you meet them here, which means that it's, I feel like you're not looking for love. This is you're out doing something creative with the number three. You are at a location, you're at somewhere you normally wouldn't be at, and this is where you bump into this person. So it's doing something abnormal, going to something you normally wouldn't go to, going somewhere you normally wouldn't go to, is where you bump into this person here. Okay, yeah. So I'm glad they refreshed us here because you got the Two of Cups, the one of my relationship cards, and the Five of Cups is a change from lower vibration to higher vibration, emotionally too. A movement from can be sorrow or memories of an old, our old emotions that we felt before. But this is like a whole switch of energy emotionally. Um, so if you're and I feel like this is brand new with the Ace of Wands. So if you have a love interest now or someone that you're interested in, things aren't going, a certain way. I feel like this is like you're taking a new path. You're definitely wanting to go to a new level of feeling love, and the old just doesn't match anymore with that Five of Cups and this page. Let's see what else we have here too. Yeah. And again, another 5. So definitely is this number of change that's coming in here. The 5 of Swords is it's like mental conflict between the head and the heart. And the Queen of Wands, she's a very powerful queen out of the queens. Actually, a lot of the queens are powerful. Queen of Wands, though, she has that passion. She has that Wands energy. She's holding the Ace of Wands, but she's very intuitive. She's very connected to spirit too. And I just like that. It's like you're following your passion, you're following your heart. And that's where this Three of Wands comes in, is because it's like you're following your gut and you're going to something different. You're like, I normally wouldn't do this, but I really feel drawn. And following that intuition is what takes you in that direction. So if you're wondering about love or should you stay with who you're with now, no, bottom of the deck too. Death card, death and rebirth, ending of old things, new things coming in. But I definitely feel like it's a different type of experience because you can't do what we've always did and think we're not going to get what we've always gotten, right? And so there is this change of approach, this change of location is very important for you in that. So hopefully that resonates. Let's get you, I feel like we're in the sweet dreams for your fortune cookie. And you've got, ooh, attraction. Well, I mean, you can't make it up. So it definitely feels like a love reading. It says, I attract a loving, happy, fulfilling relationship into my life. Boom, that's dropping the mic. So there you go. I love that for you. So hopefully that was worth the wait, Valerie. I think it is. I'm excited for you. And then we can always dive in throughout this weekend if you want and find out more about them. But I do feel it's about going a different direction, and it's someone that just fits like a glove. I do feel like with the 3 too, it's someone that is like not your norm because you end up meeting them somewhere where you wouldn't normally be, but it's someone also I feel like that you normally wouldn't go for. But you are open minded and you're like, what is this? Right. So I like that. All right. So that's what they have for you, Valerie. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. All right, and then we've got content. You were up. Let me grab your timestamp here. All right. So thank you for your donation. Anyone to know, did Miro tell other people anything about the message you sent him, asking because you told him not to? All right. Well, we'll take a look here. Based on current energies, have they told anyone at this point? We'll also ask, will they? So we're going to say, have they and will they based on current energy, right? So have they in the past? Okay, that's a lot of cards. I don't think that was it. I think that was me. Butterfingers. All right, let's try that again. So have they told anyone about the message that you sent him? Okay, got those two. And then will they tell anyone in the future? So we got these, this and this. All right. All right. We got the Two of Cups on the bottom. It's an important relationship energy here. So I'm kind of feeling that's good. That's like they honor your friendship or honor the relationship that you guys have, and they feel like it's important. So This Two of Cups is it doesn't seem like it. We'll get details here. Have they told anyone? No. I got the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands. It's a lot of energy, a lot of uh I don't know what this message was, but they definitely got riled up about it, or there's a lot of energy around it, we'll put it that way, on this message. But I don't feel like they took action on it, even though these are big action energies. I'm feeling like it's like they got so excited they wanted to tell someone about it, but I don't feel like they have. Let's see if they will tell anybody about it. Oh, very balance between head and heart. Wheel of Fortune. These are very a balancing card is good, and then the Wheel of Fortune is good because it means it's fortunate here. Yeah, and the Queen of Wands again. I like this. They're very conflicted with this Queen of Wands. I mean, with the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is this energy of, you know, uh, conflict between head and heart, and the Queen of Wands is wanting to take action, wanting to take action. You got the Page of the Knight, the Queen, which is like they want to, they want to, they want to. They feel like they want to share it with someone, but I feel like they're really fighting it, and they don't, by this information. So, it feels good with that Wheel of Fortune. That kind of just seals it that it's for you, and it feels like it's even your human is on board with the results. So that's good because your human doesn't want them to tell anyone. So that's a affirmative that they do not and will not. They haven't and they will not, based on current energies. So that's what they have for you. Content, right? Yay. Good news. All right. So that is what they have. Many blessings to you. Right. Michelle Smith, you are up. So you have two. Thank you for your dual donations here. Let me see. This one was technically first, so we'll do them in order. So thank you for your donations via Zcash app. All right. So your love had health issues. Will you continue to be happy? His initials is H. Oh, okay. And for any health things, I just always have to have a disclaimer here in the United States. It's in the description box of the video. It's just that tarot is for fun. I'm not a licensed medical professional, etc., etc. Ultimately, everyone makes their own decisions, and I hold no liability for anyone's decisions. Not even my own. No, I have to have liability for my own. All right. So that said, Michelle, check, check. Let's dive in here and see. Um, will you continue to be happy? Your love had health issues. All right. Let's see here. Okay. We have that. We have this. And we have these. And well, they don't want that one, but they do want this one. This one. They want there. I think that. Oh, nope, we do want two more. Thank you. All right, let's see what we got here. All right. So, wow. So, bottom of the deck, you do have the Empress, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, birthing, harvest, very happy, abundant, uh, kind of card and energy. So, we like that. And let's see what all this ends up being here. I think you can see that kind of more or less. So let's see here. What is we have here? Yeah, three cups, joy, celebration coming in here. So that is good. 3 and 3, very creative, very abundant type of energy that's coming in here. So what else we have? The Judgment card, higher self, calling us to see things from a higher perspective. With the Page of Pentacles, these coming out together. I feel like with this energy here, because it's like an equal sign, like two cards here, that this situation allows us to see things from a higher perspective, and the Page of Pentacles allows us to have more gratitude. So I feel like the health issues allows you kind of just be grateful for today and grateful for what is doing well and going well. And but there definitely is all this joy and celebration before all this, so it feels like okay, the health situation feels like it takes care of itself or it gets taken care of. But it does bring this feeling of, instead of taking things for granted, how we're so grateful for everything. That's what happens when we get some scares and health issues and different things that come up, right? It's like, okay, things do work out, but it makes us so grateful for things we wouldn't have been grateful for before, if that makes sense. Let's see what comes in here. It feels like this equals. Let's see what this comes in here. Yeah, whatever. There was this energetic block, but it definitely has the self-love and self-care energy come in here. Let's see what's underneath the surface here. Yeah, Six of Swords. We like that. This is a good movement from choppy waters to calmer waters. It's letting go of old ways of thinking, moving to higher ways of thinking. So it does, as often things do, when we have something that happens, we start taking care of ourselves differently too. And it impacts other people around us too, because people are like, oh God, I'm going to start taking care of myself a little differently too. But I feel like there's a bunch of whatever this block was, this self care. It's like a decision. I'm gonna choose to love my body, love myself, love life more, and it does move things into this different space, in a positive way. Yeah, we have the Queen of Swords. What's underneath that? Yeah, and I like this Queen of Swords. She has the power to take away these small t truths and these fears, which do turn things around. Expectations equal disappointment, that Three of Swords. But the Queen of Swords, she has the power over the swords, and she's the balancer of the head and the heart. So there is this great clarity that comes in that helps remove fear, helps remove expectations. That has us like this Six of Swords is like leaving behind those three swords and looking at things from that higher perspective that comes in here. So I do feel like there is, joy and happiness that comes, and does turn things into this higher, with the Page of Pentacles. It's a enhanced experience in the physical world too. So I do like all this. It feels good. Hopefully that makes sense. And it's like, okay, I can see the positive side of this, and I feel like the joy does continue, especially with the underlying energy being the Empress. It's birthing and harvest. But then you got the joy card too, which is cha-ching, which is good. I feel like we want to go to the chakra love for your fortune cookie for this one. I was just wondering, content, did I give you a fortune cookie? Let me know if I didn't. I don't think I did. Awful, awful. Oh, punishment. All right. Okay. And we got here, you got the throat chakra coming in here. It has sodalite as the crystal that you can use with this, but it's called vulnerability. Showing vulnerability is a sign of strength. And I like this. So in the throat chakra is voicing our vulnerabilities. So it's important to share, you know, like they say, it's always important to let people know how we really feel, because we don't want to ever have anyone, and this isn't because of that, but we don't want anyone to, like, we have to live with, "Did they know I loved them? Did they know I cared? Do they know?" You know, whatever. So I like that, energy with that. So that's what they have for that one, Michelle. Sorry, I was looking at Valerie here on my screen. So, Michelle, so for number 2, a message from your ancestors. I actually have, I think, this one here. Yep, Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle. So we'll actually pull from the Secrets of the Ancestors, see what they want you to know here. All right. So what would you like Michelle to know? All right, there we go. Boom, boom. So they have Root of Fire, risk it all. I like it. Card 23. What do you have to lose? And that is such an ancestor message because, of course, they've seen, generations and generations and generations and generations of people. And they're like, we played it so safe. And they see, what we could have done and we could have acted upon. And they're like, don't wait to live life, live it abundantly. What are you waiting for to live your dreams? To die? Don't live your dreams. I like this. This is like Page of Wands energy, which is about a passion, live your passion, right? So it says, um, yes, you can make it happen. It is safe for you to feel beyond your usual limits. Embrace your personal freedom and follow your passion. Be curious. If you are an advocate for social issues or an activist, let your voice be heard. Here again, throat chakra, let your voice be heard. You can make a difference. All root and plant spirits are messengers. The root of fire, also called the African dream root, is an indication to move ahead. This plant cester, so yeah, ancestor, this is the plant cester, wants you to explore your passion with enthusiasm. The ancestral memory that comes with this says African dream roots was instrumental in helping goddess warrior Queen Mother Nanny and the Maroons in Jamaica in their fight for liberation. African dream root is also used by I think it's Xhosa, XHOSA people of South Africa for lucid dreaming and in spiritual initiations. So the ancestral medicine that this brings to you says, stop tiptoeing. Your ancestors were brave in ways that you cannot even imagine. Acknowledge their lessons of courage within your own journey. The shadow aspect, I like reading them anyway, see if they resonate, right? It says, your own thoughts and beliefs are holding you back. Are you feeling impatient? You may be easily swayed or deceived. Brace yourself for potential bad news. There's nothing that you can't handle. So take that as you will with that. I always read them just in case there's any tidbit that sparks anything. The declaration for the card is I am passionate about my next steps. Wow, I love that. So that is what they have for that. And I feel like we want to go to the Aboriginal cards here for your fortune cookie for this one. Let's see what they have here for you. All right. I feel like they want to give you two. Wow. So, wow. Confidence and decisions. How perfect for the message that you had, right? So, confidence is believe in magic. You don't need an explanation for everything. Trust it has happened for all the right reasons, like we had in the other one. Right. Decisions. It's your decision whether you keep this up or let it go. But continuing will not change the circumstances or the outcome. Interesting. So have confidence in making your decisions. So I love that for you. That's what your ancestors have for you, Michelle. So thank you again so much for your donations. I appreciate you. All right, and then Moonlight 5, you are up, Moonlight. So, you have 2 donations, so thank you for those. And then, also, you had a free reading, a free question. So I'm gonna do your 2 donations, and I'm gonna slide the free reading at the end, so you just have 1 timestamp. You don't have to go like, "Where's my other ones?" All right, so we're gonna do it that way. All right. So thank you again. So good to see you and hope you're having a good sleep after your long drive. Oh my God. I know. I thought driving to Denver was a long drive since I don't drive a whole lot anymore. But that's only like, I think it was not even 60 miles where we went. So that's nothing compared to what you did. So, up first, you want to know anything for the weekend. Let's take a look here. Anything for the weekend. Okay, we do have this. They want, okay, do you want those two? And this one here. All right, let's see what you got for the weekend. On the bottom, you do have the strength card here. Leo energy. I like this energy. It feels like it's quite a um, this being your higher self and your human self feels a bit of a how do you want to say, I don't necessarily feel hermity, but I do feel like it's an important self-care weekend, really spending time with self and really sitting with self energy too. You might even, if you journal and automatic writing, I feel like there was this nudge because they just reminded me of um, this morning. I channeled and talked with my higher self, and it's a beautiful, beautiful interaction. And I feel like it'll be really a great weekend for you to do that. And this is like a nudge to really um, just reach out and say, all right, higher self, write a little question. What do you have? What would you like me to know right now? See what comes through. And if you have questions you like to ask them. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. And see what comes through. Maybe I'm picking up your tiredness. Maybe you need a rest. Maybe that's what it is. It's time for self care, right? So sorry. I haven't yawned. I don't think I've yawned online with you guys in at least a long time. Sometimes with my my other, when I do the other groups, private ones, I think I've yawned there maybe once or twice. Sometimes reading stuff, but not here. Oh my goodness, that must be your energy. Well, look, Page of Swords, Ace of Swords, definitely clarity and communication. So again, I really feel like this writing, this communicating with your higher self is important this weekend because I feel like you do gain a lot of clarity around yourself, around what you're wanting, and clarity around things that you're wondering about for your own life. And I just really feel like that is an important thing that they're wanting to develop here with you. Is like your higher self being your pen pal via writing and automatic writing in between the two of you. I love that. Yeah, the Empress. It is definitely a self-care weekend. Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. It's important to rest, nurture yourself. Again, self energy that's coming in. Six of Swords. Yeah. Here's all this thinking energy. So there really is this through this clarity, I just feel like you are letting go some fears, some old ways of thinking, and replacing it with these higher ways of thinking, which does help you move into a peaceful place around some things that have been really just biting at you, right? So I like that energy. So what else we have here? Yep. And I feel like this is clarity. Here's some disappointments around dreams coming true, dreams not coming true. But because the star card is all about, what is my dream come true? And a lot of clarity around what your dream is and why pieces of your dream haven't come true and getting to the roots of the whys behind things. But I definitely feel this is a very clarifying weekend to understand um, these things that have been, just been biting at you, disappointments, that are here. But I do feel like it goes around to like, what is my dream come true? Why hasn't my dream come true? Kind of energy. Yeah, even under the strength card, you have the Capricorn devil card energy with Saturn, which is about questioning thoughts and beliefs and mindsets and releasing things. And it could be around partnerships, but it is the 10. I feel like this is around the 10 of Pentacles, which is about, this the abundance of life. It's partnership, but it's like whatever we feel the fullness of life is in the outside world. So it could be abundance, it could be body, it can be career, anything of the outside world with that 10 of Pentacles. So I feel like there's a lot of clarity that can come in here with you for you this weekend. Let's see here. For your fortune cookie, we're going to go to the sweet dreams here. All right. Boom. Came flying out. You got experience. Let's see what this says. It says, my dreams take me to wonderful places that are filled with wonder, delight, and joy. This is about the dream world. So I feel like your higher self is also visiting you in your dreams, and they can take you to places in your dreams too. So you can meet them in pen pal writing, but also connecting there. So I love that. All right, so that's for your first one there, Moonlight. Thank you again for that one. And for your second donation, you want to know whatever comes in about your family life, the boys in your life. Oh no. Uh-oh. All right, let's take a look here. So tell us about the boys of the moonlight. It sounds like a movie. Let's see here. All right. What about this one? Not those. But they do want this one. Okay. Let's see what this is about here. Or maybe this is all the clarification. We got the Knight of Swords on the bottom, which is movement of communication. Um, yeah, movement of communication. It feels here. I don't know. When is the Gemini? Whenever we have Gemini moon energy, I feel like for you, which happens once a month, and then Gemini season is coming up. Yeah, May 20th to June 20th. So we've got here coming up here. I feel like the Gemini moon, um, when it's in the Gemini moon here, which it could be any day now. Let's just take a look. Let's just find out since we have my little book right here. What is today? Oh, man, I'm behind. What is going on? All right. I think we just came out of the Gemini moon. It was on there like Wednesday, Thursday, well, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then early Thursday morning. So we just finished the Gemini moon. I don't know if you had a communication on Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe Thursday, depending, maybe Monday, depending on where you're at in the world. Probably Monday, Tuesday until late Wednesday. But Gemini season, I feel like there's going to be a lot of communication with the boys with all that energy. So you have temperance. Yeah, it feels like things have been going kind of slow here. And they might be a slow a little bit because I feel like the communication really picks up here in what, 18 days? May 20th to June 20th is Gemini. So I feel like it's slow moving with the boy energy in your life here. But we have slowness happen on purpose for a purpose, right? It's giving you time. Like this weekend is self-care weekend. It's really you communicating with spirit and your higher self and going, what the heck? You can ask them about the boys, and see what they're willing to tell you and what higher perspective they can give you on it too. Yeah. So one is the King of Pentacles. So this one represents someone who's very more material focused. They're really focused on trying to build things in the outside world, a lot of fears, a lot of attention to on the outside world. Yeah, and they are all about the coin, even the two cards underneath it, the underlying energies. They ultimately are looking at being financially independent, and they're looking for these opportunities for wealth and for, to be independently alone though. With this energy, they're so focused on that they have a hard time sharing it with anyone because they're so focused on defining their worth by this. And I feel like this is a specific one that and it stands out. As soon as I said it, I feel like you knew who it was. But I don't feel like it with that Nine of Pentacles. That's the hermit journey of being away. So I really don't feel like they're gonna have space to where they'd wanna share their life because 'cause they're so focused on that security being financial and what they have and what they own. It's been, like, such a focus for them. And then you have the 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is joy, community, what's here? Passion. 8 of Wands. Ooh, okay. So this is a friends group with the 3 of Cups, and I feel like there is someone, excuse me, in this group that is really attracted to you. Um, and I feel like you know who it is because I feel like you pick it up. And but I feel like they are more attracted to you than you are to them. Not that you aren't attracted to them, but I feel like they're really attracted to you, almost to the point where it's like it almost makes them almost unattractive. I know. What does that mean, right? It's when you're like, I want someone who wants to get to know me, not just my body. So I feel like there's something like you pick up this energy like I don't feel like you want to know me, like me or me. I feel like you want to know me. So some of that is coming in here. I don't know. I feel like they want to just talk about those two kind of situations because the others, I feel like with this Knight of Swords, I feel like you'll get a lot of clarity this weekend about the others in between, if that makes sense. Um, but I feel like they're just like wanted to give you those two just to kind of go, yeah, I know that. All right, well, what about these others? And I feel like that automatic writing that they really invited you into and on your self-care weekend, that they're just like, it's time for a lot of clarity because with clarity, and that's that temperance, that's why things are slowed down. It's giving you this time to really evaluate what it is that I really want and what are my boundaries and what are my fears around, that dream come true. And that helps you with all this too. So hopefully that makes sense. But I'm being drawn here to the Aboriginal for your fortune cookie for this one. Yeah, you got richness. So there's that one. Well, maybe I'll just, search further. The deeper you explore this issue, the more truth you will find. It will well be worth the effort. So exactly as we were just saying, right? It's that diving into search further into the whys behind things and why the disappointments that makes sense with the disappointments in like the people, right? Figuring those out. So that's what they have for those, Moonlight. And then for your free question, anything Spirit has for you about your general health in May, fatigue and pain. Yay! Well, good. You definitely need self care this weekend. Of course, disclaimer in the description box, I'm not a medical professional. Tarot's for fun. Ultimately, everyone makes their own decisions. Let's see what they want you to know here for general and health for me. All right. Yeah, I like it. I feel like with the King of Swords, they are a lot of information, a lot of clarity around your health and everything coming in here too. The Tower is like a sudden change, a sudden removal of things out of your life. So I feel like you do get information here, and I'm getting like inflammation is causing fatigue and pain. That there's some stuff that can be cut out. And I know I hate to hear that myself about, well, this kind of food inflames your body and it brings pain and it does tire you. But I feel like there's some sort of um I hate saying the word dietary. We're just going to say a food, some sort of food change that you can replace with something else, but it's something that really it causes great inflammation in your body. And so I almost feel like with this King of Swords, and this is something you can ask your spirit guides and your higher self when you're doing your automatic writing. Can you tell me what food I can change that will help me with my pain, fatigue, and the inflammation? What can I do to change that? And I feel like they will get that, and maybe you've already had some information, but you can still research and ask more and find out. But I feel like this is the removal of something out of your life and the knowledge of what you can remove. And once you realize, you know what, if it will help me with my fatigue, if it will help me with my pain, fine, I'll do that, right? At least for a while, right? But I feel like that's what's coming in right now, Moonlight. So hang in there. Many blessings to you. Thank you again for your dual donations. All right. All right. Now, Sean G, you are up next. So, Sean G, thank you for your donation via Zcash app. You got to do the German right. And then you also had a free question, which I'll pop onto the end of this one. So it's just one time stamp. All right. So thank you for that donation. And you wanted to know here on the current energies, are you on track to reach your sales goal for August? Am I going to reach my financial goals this year to live the life you dream of? All right. Let's take a look here, see what they have. Let me just take a quick sip here. All right. So, based on current energies, are you on track for your sales goal for August? All right. And then for the year, to live the dream. And they want that, and they want that, and they did want these two here. All right. All right. Well, bottom of the deck, not a bad card. We've got the Justice card, which is, of course, the balancing scales. And, underneath that, too, we have the Knight of Swords that's out here. So you got both of the Ace of Swords in both their hands here. The Knight of Swords is about seeking clarity, seeing things from a different perspective. And the Justice card is about cutting away some of the small teachers, replacing it with higher things. So there is this energy of um, you can be on track, and it's for both of these, just overall, but there is some clarity, which can be about new ideas, seeing things from different perspectives, seeking different perspectives as well. So I feel like that can only just help things, you know, uh, regarding your reading here, is to be open-minded, seek advice. Again, be open to new ideas, right? So August, right? Yep. Oh, Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I think that is a yes. So on set for sales goals for August, what's below the surface? Yeah, you got the Star card, another balancing card, a dream come true kind of energy, along with the Three of Pentacles, which is about being creative, letting your creative expression be seen and given as well. So I like that energy for you. So August does feel like a thumbs up with that. I like that creativity underneath the surface too. So don't be afraid to, again, for August, try new things. Let your creative juices flow around that too. You can get creative uh, on how to reach your sales goals. But creativity definitely is meshed in here. All right. And then are you going to reach your financial goals this year to live the dream? So you've got the Six of Swords. There's the movement of thought and belief again coming in. The Three of Wands, taking a different direction with new information. And the Chariot card. Yep. Victory and movement, power of choice. So I do feel like there is definitely movement energies with all of these three cards here, but it is important for you with the Six of Swords, with all this swords energy, to alter course, um, and again, it's the creative ideas, and if you continue to just do and go along with what how you're going, that's where they're like, well, it's going to be challenging to do that because with new information, you're able to take course, and that's where the victory happens. So I feel like there is some movement, this change of movement. I feel like June is when you, with this new information, you alter course, which brings you there. Let's see what's below the surface here. Yeah, here's King of Swords. So different new ideas, coming in here, and the Sun card. Yeah, this is that Leo bright energy here and inner child energy. So I definitely feel like it's, um, you definitely the creativity, the allow yourself to play, allow yourself to not get bogged down by just your mind. That Sun card is about let your child out, let that playfulness out, let you go a different way with it too. But definitely that creation kind of energy is here. All this swords energy, it definitely, I feel like, um, it's like get out of your it's like connect to the higher creativity because it's all mental energy that I feel so much, but it's not lower vibrational human mentality with supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's. It's really connecting to that higher place. I mean, you had the King of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Justice card. All of them have the Ace of Swords, which allows higher creativity to come in because that's the creative mind of the creator, the creatress, the goddess, and allowing that to flow in, I feel like is a very important part of it all. So I feel like you're on track for August, because you said for August, right? Your sales goal for August. But I feel like June is when you make changes that help you reach that goal and then helps you reach the goal for the year too. So I like it. I like it. Hopefully that helps. We're going to pull from here the sweet dreams for your fortune cookie. All right, this is the one. And you have transition. While I sleep, I move from the old to the new with great ease. So here's that Six of Swords transition energy I was just talking about. So there is a movement. And I do feel like June is when you make a significant change based on new ideas and new information that you feel comfortable. But it's you that makes the change. It's not that the change is made for you and you have to go with it. It's you make a change. So hopefully that helps. Right. So that was for your donation. Thank you again for that. And then your free question. Are you right to ignore V? What's his feelings towards the situation? So is it for your best to ignore V? All right, that's that one. And then their feelings towards the situation. Page of Swords. Look all this clarity that's coming in here. Page of Swords is about a new level of communication. You know, I know I hate to say it, but you know what's coming, right? You're like, "Oh god, no." Brother, what does that know? Bzz, bzz, bzz. But the Page of Swords is about if you don't learn through this interaction with V, you're just gonna have another interaction with someone else. It's just gonna be them in someone else's body, and then if we don't do with that, someone else's body. So I feel like ignoring someone isn't gonna be isn't for your best. It's always it's the easy way, right? I'm just gonna but it's like, you know what? And I don't necessarily feel I feel like it's don't ignore your thoughts and the experience because the experience is happening for you to teach you something. This Ace of Swords means there's a fear or a belief that is triggering to want to be seen so that you can transform it and that won't impact you anymore, which will save you a bunch of other battles internal and external with other people in the outside world later. And so it's like, you know what? Facing this is important, I feel for you. Just because it'll be you'll have another classroom, another classroom, another classroom. Like it just, you know, um, nip it in the bud now so that you don't have to relive this through other situations, if that makes sense. What's his feelings towards the situation? Nine of Pentacles is this feeling of independence, being alone. Um, it just feels like very introverted, very much to themselves. But it's not like the Nine of Pentacles is normally like a feeling of financial independence, being independent, not needing other people. But in this one, it feels more like solitary, where um, they have these feelings of not being worthy. And I normally don't get that with this Nine of Pentacles, but I get that with them, that they just feel like feelings of rejection, feelings of needing to be alone, feelings of not needing to be alone, but like being put in solitary confinement where they feel like they have been abandoned by the world and that they're left alone. And that kind of energy just feels like it's below the surface, if that makes sense, where that's just kind of what they have rolling. And so that is the lens through which they see their world: abandonment, not deserving, low. So they automatically revert to that kind of childlike behavior of, oh, I'm not good enough. They give up. They feel like they deserve everything they get in a bad way. And I feel like that kind of just taints or colors their feelings towards the situation, if that if that makes sense. So hopefully that helps. I know that's very interesting, but enjoy it. If not, there's no right or wrong. There's just, well, I can deal with it now, or I'll just deal later with someone else in a harder classroom. And if not, then a harder classroom, because it's like an excelled class to try to get us up to where we're wanting to be, kind of energy, if that makes sense too. All right, Shawn, that's what they have for you right now, my dear. So many blessings. Thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right. Then we have Maria P. Thank you, Maria, for your additional donation. Appreciate that. Let's see what we got going on here. So, where is Wally trying to take your relationship to? All right. He said he's faithful to you, and it's only you and only you and him in everything, like dating and private time. What were his thoughts and feelings on giving your little ones a gift? Anything else you can see? All right, let's take a look here. So, where is he trying to take your relationship? All right. And then his thoughts. Oh, oh, he said he's faithful to you and him, and there was a question mark. So that is a question. Is he telling the truth? Aha! I'm reading between the lines. And then what were his thoughts and feelings on giving uh, the little ones the gifts, right? And then anything else? Boom, boom, boom. All right. Well, it's interesting. Where does he want the relationship to go? We got the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is an independence card, right? It's living and being alone. And so don't read too much into that, because we always get this card. That's his very next step that he's looking at. He wants to be able to leave his current situation, have his space, his own nest, right? And then he'll think about what comes after that. So the whole like next steps and things like that it's more of the heart and more of the interactions, but as far as putting a title on it and, next steps in, let's say, the title of the relationship, they're like, I need to get to this first before I go that direction, right? These is looking more at from the heart and for the mind, and that's an important thing, right? Um, and so this is about being grateful, right? Uh, and not trying to look for a title. There's I forget the movie. I think I might have mentioned it before to you there. Sorry, there's something out there. He's just not that into you. I think that's the one with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Aniston in it. And there's like all these different groups, but it's Jennifer Aniston and Ben Affleck's. I think it's Ben Affleck. Their relationship that is this thing because they'd been together, they were living together, they were very happy, and all our friends started getting married. And because he didn't believe in like a marriage and ring and all that, she ended up breaking up with them. And I won't tell you the rest. That's a spoiler alert. It happens fairly early into the movie. I won't tell you how it all ends because I want you to go watch it. Or Spirit does. And it's really realizing, wow, everybody has all these different relationships, but it's like when you realize I am so grateful for what I have with that I don't need all that other stuff because really we get into understanding what the relationship is. I feel like that's an important step for all that, if that makes sense. Right. Faithful to just you. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it's funny. So the 3 of cups would be third party cheating and everything else, but don't worry because we've got this, the 2 of swords and the 2 of wands. The energy I have that comes in here is, because of course, the one is the future ex that's coming, right? And then the other is you, and he is like, "How would I have time?" It's like, "How could I fit a third person in between all of that? I have no time for any of that. Why would I want, anything else? I don't have enough energy," you know? So, I like this, because the 3 of cups also is a card of joy. So, I definitely feel that they were telling the truth with these because they were like, "I already have this that I'm, leaving and you. Where would I fit a third one anyway?" So it's kinda like a little joke. Where would I fit? I wouldn't. So I definitely feel that here. Um, so what were his thoughts and whatever and etcetera, giving gifts to your children? I like this. So, yeah, we have the 4 of Pentacles, building this solid foundation, this home feeling here. Yeah, and this death and rebirth and balance and dreams that are coming in here. I feel like this energy here of they pick up on your fear of things ending, and that's a big fear of yours that suddenly he's going to decide to go back to his future ex-wife or someone else or whatever, and they understand with the star card, which is like a dream come true, and there's a balancing energy too, that they're like, this will help you see that I want something secure with you in the physical world, with all this, and that it's like they're trying to put your fears at ease by showing you how much they care and that, um, it's not just their, you know, you, but they really that their children are part of you and that they, are accepting of that and they're wanting to build that too. which is really cool, right? Right. So that's what's coming through there. And then anything else that they can see. Yep, the Eight of Cups. Walk away from emotions that don't serve you anymore. The equal giving and receiving of the Six of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, too, which is these are solid foundations, again, in the outside world. And that the Eight of Cups is, I like this, you know, knowing that E like this is one of your fears, right? Like, if they walked away from you, and I feel like they're saying here that not that this is what they're saying is going to happen, but that you need to know that even if they did, you would be fine. You were living before you met them, and you would live if they left your life. And if they weren't in your life anymore, right? And it's important to balance that and understand that they're not your life, that they're a part of your life, that they don't make your life, they're above and beyond extra. And when you realize that, we it's a recalibration and understanding. Yeah, another person doesn't make us whole. We're not a half and a half that make a one. We're a one and a one that make two, you know, and it's the relationship that you enjoy, but you would survive and thrive without them in your life, just as you did before, So I just feel like it's not, it's just so you put things in perspective because that helps relieve the fears that are there. So that's what they have there. Um, let's see here. I feel like I want to go to these Aboriginal. I don't think you had a free reading in this one, did you? If you did, hopefully I didn't miss it. If I did, I'll make it up to you because I don't remember seeing it, but it was a large session. Yeah, I'm exhausted. No, exhaustion. So it says, long and challenging as this journey is, it is worth the struggle. The results are long term and worth every sacrifice made along the way. Enjoy the journey, right? You're like, it is exhausting. So that is what they have for you, Maria. So thank you again for your additional donation this evening. Appreciate you. All right. So Sonali, you are up next. Let me grab these here and hang in there, everybody. I just got two more donations. These do take longer. And then once I do those, we'll move into the free readings or just 1 to 2 cards. Those do move a bit faster. So hang in there. We'll get to you. We'll get to you. And I will, once I'm done, I will, after the stream, I will post a comment and pin it. It'll have all the timestamps in it. So if you're like, I'm going to have to wait all this time, you can come back after the stream is done and look at the comments and go, oh, there I am, and click on it. It'll take you right to your reading too. So just in case. But you can hang out. I don't mind at all. All right. So Sonali, thank you so much for your donation. Let me bring that over here. Hello, hello. Anyone know? Can you tell me what's coming towards you in love? Because you're currently single. All right, Sonali, let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know? What is coming towards you in love? Okay, boom, boom, boom. Let's see, we did this one for sure. Not that one, just that top one. And I do feel like these two. Okay, and then these are under the surface. But you got a progression, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you see you have 1 card and then 2 cards and then 3 cards. Under the 3 cards, we've got some underlying energies, which we'll take a look at here. But what I went about is the Page of Cups, which is a heightened love coming underneath that. Look at this. You got the 10 of Pentacles, which is another relationship card, and the Ace of Cups underneath that. New love, higher love. You got the Page and the Ace and the 10. So there definitely is love that is headed your way. We'll see what is progressing here, how it's progressing, and what else they want you to know here below the surface. So You have the Two of Pentacles. I do feel like there is this energy here, two individuals that are going to be coming across your path. And one is going to look really good on paper. Like, okay, well, they have this and this and this, and like the things on your list, right? And it's like, well, it seems is the alert, right? Well, it seems like they would be the one. And then the other person is like someone that's different that is in a way like, well, obviously I would choose this one, but why am I so attracted to this one? Your heart really is attracted to this one. Your mind is attracted to this one. Of course, follow your heart, right? Because eventually, your heart knows what it wants. Um, so follow your heart is really what that is coming in here. Let's see what step two is. Yeah, you have the Four of Cups. Again, Four of Cups energy is like these are the type of people that you normally would be attracted to, but they're bored with it. And here comes the Ace of Cups that's offered. And so that's that reiteration of this message is realizing, yeah, that would look good on paper, but eventually your heart would be so hungry and lonely and bored with the one the mind chooses, but the one with the heart, it's like, yeah, this person might be rich and we might end up in a mansion or really well off and everything, but then you'd also just feel like a piece of property. The other is, yeah, you might live in a one room apartment, but you're going to be in bliss and you're going to be in so much in love that you're going to feel like you're living in a palace instead of a prison, right? Let's see what else is underneath here. Yeah, again, Two of Swords. On one hand, prison, on the other hand, paradise, right? So let's see what else we have here. Yep. So you definitely have the Lovers card coming in. Lovers versus partnership. There's a difference, right? You have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, creativity, being true to your authentic self. The other, you'd always fear, what if I do something wrong and I'm going to end up being divorced and excommunicated? The other never comes across that you have to be anything else besides yourself because you're not like attracted to what each other have and blah blah blah. You're attracted to who each other are. The other is more like what they have and that's on the list, right? And yeah, and then the Tower. This is, whatever is not meant for you will be removed out of your life. And so if you chose that one, it get blasted out. You'd end up eventually, you know, down the road with them who is meant for you, but you could choose a detour. So it's very important for you to know that the two that are coming, there's one that's a it's like a false prophet. That's what they're bringing into my head. That's funny. One's a false prophet. The other is the true one. See, below the surface, yeah, it's worth waiting, not rushing into anything, allowing it to unfold. Yeah, the Eight of Pentacles is putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears. It's definitely worth the outcome that comes with it. So, hopefully that helps a little bit right now while you're waiting. While that Temperance card is the patience, we can always work on raising our own love vibration because that allows us to be attracted to and draw in someone that matches that higher love vibration. And we do that by releasing thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve us anymore, emotions that don't serve us anymore, energy that doesn't serve us anymore, and even physical things in our life that don't serve us anymore. So that's what they got for you. Let's give you a chakra love oracle, not oracle, but a fortune cookie. Let's see what else they want you to know here. Okay, I feel like this orange one. And you've got, ooh, look at you, sacral chakra. That's the one-on-one energy. Peach moonstone is the stone, and you got fertility. Woo-hoo-hoo. Let your life burst forth from the seeds of creation. Yeah, creativity, being true to your authentic self, that 3 of Pentacles energy coming through it. It is creativity. And go live, go love, do the things you love, especially something that where you can create things because that is where you'll meet this other one. Not this one, but this one. All right. So that's what's coming in for you, Sonali. Many blessings to you. All right. And then we have, let's see here. Yep, Anna C. Hello, hello. Let's grab your timestamp here. And let me just make sure here. Okay. And thank you so much. I got your email just now. I just saw it. So thank you for your patience in getting to your reading. I know I had a ton of them tonight. So grateful. All right. So, uh, do you see marriage and happiness with your boyfriend? All right. Let's take a sip here for this. All right. So, based on current energies, yeah, two separate questions, right? Marriage, happiness. We can have one and not the other for sure, right? Let's look at the underlying energy here, too. I feel like we get 3 for that. And then on the bottom of the deck, all right. So, bottom of the deck, we do have the Hierophant, which is like the preacher, the justice of the peace, marriage, contracts. So, there is an underlying energy of um, commitment with that here. Okay, I do want to split these out like this. All right, so let's see here. First of all, marriage. We have the Magician, which is about possibilities. 7 of Cups, several different choices, and underlying energy, the Wheel of Fate, the Wheel of Fortune. So, with it being set up this way, marriage is possible. It's one of the possibilities, but it's not the only one. You know, the way that Spirit explained it and showed it to me in my head is if you look at a map with like all of these possible pathways and outcomes. Like if you make one choice and another choice, it can take you over here. But if you make a choice, it could also, all these other choices, you could end up in 2 separate places, right? A fated relationship where we have a fated partner we're going to be with the rest of our life. We do choose lifetimes where we have that. Well, at the end of every path is them, right? When we have that type of fated relationship, doesn't matter. Just a matter of sooner or later, depending on the path, we're going to end up with them for a certain amount of time before one of us dies, right? Or you go out together. um, but in others, like with the 7 of Cups, if you take this route, you end up with this person. If you take this route, you end up with this person. If you take this route, you would end up with this person. Take this route, you end up with. So you have 7 different like things, outcomes, partnerships that are possible. So it is like a vacation. Sometimes we do choose, here's my rental car, here's my hotel, here's the flight, and then I want the luau, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want that. And we have it where we have everything figured out. Like we have this fated. Others are, I'll decide when I get there, what route am I going to take? And so you don't have a fated relationship with them, but with that magician, based on where you're headed right now with your energies, that's where you guys are headed based on current energies. But tomorrow you could be like and end up with someone else because you're like, but it's you, the choices you're making with this magician, you would end up with someone else. But right now you're on course for being with them. Happiness, well, that's the like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe this changes your decision. I'm just kidding. Let's take a look here. Yeah, the Knight of Cups. Ah, that's beautiful. Romance, movement of emotion, movement of love. So that's a positive card. Ooh, yeah. Page of Wands. heightened passion, ooh la la, you got emotion and passion, and the Eight of Pentacles, yeah. Putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears, it does end up um, transformative. And this is the apprentice becoming the master. It evolves and grows. So I love that. Financial and physical, you got the ones and passion and attraction energy and the movement of emotion. So that would represent, yeah, that seems happy. Let's see what's underneath the surface. Yeah. Two of wands. Again, whatever energy you invest um, determines how much happiness there is, right? And the Eight of Cups is leaving behind emotions that don't serve us as well as an important energy. And so with this Two of Wands, like if I focus on, let's focus on the positive, right? So let's say any relationship where we like, I'm going to focus on everything that I'm grateful for in them and what they bring into the relationship and what the relationship has and what I bring into the relationship. That's going to be an awesome freaking relationship, right? Because I'm focusing on what I'm loving about it. But unfortunately, a lot of human relationships were taught focus on all those expectations, right? The supposed to be's, the should be's, the need to be's, the have to be's, the must be's. And instead of focusing on what we have and what we're grateful for, we end up focusing on check, 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 check. Okay, what are they doing and what aren't they doing? But that takes us into focusing on what's not happening in a relationship, and of course, that Two of Wands tells us, along with the Magician, whatever we focus on, we grow and expand. So if I'm focusing on what someone's not doing in the relationship, guess what? I'm gonna start noticing more of what they're not doing, and they're gonna stop doing things. So there's gonna be more not doing in the relationship. If I focus on what the relationship is not bringing into my life, I'm gonna start noticing more of what it's not bringing as it spirals downward and downward. And if I'm focusing on what I'm not being in the relationship, so all that not takes us, and all the have and grateful takes it higher, right? So that Two of Wands tells you your happiness is dependent upon your focus with it, because it looks like all the things, all the ingredients are there with that Knight of Cups and the Page of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. All of that is there, all the ingredients. But if I focus on this, um, it's like the soup is so good. Whatever you add to it is either going to enhance it and to make it taste better, or you might put in too much salt and then it ruins it, right? So hopefully that makes sense. All right. So that's what they have for you. And let's give you a chakra love or fortune cookie. Keep on calling them an oracle. All right. Oh, wow. So you get two. This one is the sacral chakra. Again, it's the one-on-one energy. You got the tiger's eye, and it's called passion. Turn your fear of change into excitement for change. So turn our fears into passion. And then you also got another sacral chakra. This is red, aventurine. This is called journey. To enjoy the journey, let go of the outcome. And that is too, the expectations are about I need it to be get to here and be this. And whereas gratitude is enjoying what is and loving what is, that's enjoying the journey, not I gotta have it to get to here. It's like the more I'm grateful for what I do have, I get more. If I'm focused on what I don't have, I get less. So hopefully that helps, Anna. And that's what they have for you. Again, thank you so much for your donation and your patience in getting to your reading. I'm very grateful. All right, everybody. So that's it for the donation piece. Like I said, these will go a little bit faster because for the free readings, they're just 1 to 2 cards. So we will do that. Shuffle these up, take a sip, and we'll get into it. All right. So first, I just have my 2 YouTube channel members for their free readings. So we'll start there. So Nelia Medeiros, hello, hello. Let's put put your timestamp here. All right. So, Nelia, any new messages regarding salsa night? All right, let's take a look here. What do they have for salsa? Yeah, I like it. Put your mind to rest. The Nightmare and Insomnia card, the Nine of Swords, next to the Four of Swords, peace of mind. This is these are the expectations. These are like these. It's three times three. These are all our thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, but that's these multiplied. And you're on the Ace of Swords. You're putting your mind at rest, and so it's like rest. Let all the expectations go. Go with not a supposed to be, a should be, a need to be, have to be, must be. Just go without expectations. Put your mind at rest and let your heart go have fun and express itself. Um, so I feel like that's the big thing. I mean, it's all you're in your head with all of this energy. It's like, let it all go. Don't think, well, it needs to be this, it needs to be that. Just go zero expectations, just zero them out and go, I'm just going to go and I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to go with the flow of the salsa music. Because if you get in your head, and it's basically like dancing, right? If you get in your head counting the steps, that's when you step on your everyone's feet and trip and fall and whatever, right? It's like get out of your head and flow with the music. And that's what they're saying here for you. I love that. Get out of your head and enjoy salsa night. Just go with the flow. It's great. And I feel like because you could have all these expectations and it could be this wonderful of a night and you still disappointed. If you have zero expectations, what a wonderful night it was. This is all the abundance and joy you experience instead of disappointment, right? All right. So that's what they have for you, Nelia. Boom, boom. Enjoy. All right. Many blessings. All right. And then we have KittyKat Black. Thank you so much, Kitty Cat. And you like the shirt? Yeah, because Kitty Cat. You like the shirt. So thank you for that. And you'd like a general reading, please. And is that love? Or please and thank you. I get you. All right. All right. Boom, boom. Here we go. Here's your cards. All right. So you have a little bit of a kind of a relationship kind of energy here. King of Cups is balanced between head and heart, but it's also like the perfect compatible person, someone that is so fit for you. But the Ten of Swords, which looks like a horrible card, it's actually a great card. Really, all tarot. The way I look at all tarot are wonderful because they're for us. They're always for us. The Ten of Swords is us sick and tired of trying to live up to everyone else's expectations. That's what all those swords are. Is a supposed to be, a should be, a need to be, a have to be, a must be, blah 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 blah. Right. But that's us letting go. And if you can think about as we're growing up, we're given a lot of rules around who someone is supposed to be if they're going to be in a relationship with me, supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be, must be, all this stuff that's taking our vision from being wide open to very specific, right? Very specific, like, and this person's on back order for 1,000 years and we're never going to see him in this lifetime. But this King of Cups is someone that's so in alignment. They roll over emotion, the cup suit, with the Queen, but they're also given a second portion of that mind and air energy, which allows them to communicate their emotions, allows them, they have intelligence, but they're not so emotionally off center that they're emotionally unstable. So it's a like a our the perfect person for us usually doesn't match up to this long list of expectations we've been given all our life. And if we'll let those expectations go and we move into like instead of like creator has to be this and this and this and this, where we're giving them this very narrow, and like, well, do you want them in this lifetime? Or do you want them in 10 lifetimes from now? I'll start putting them on back order. They're on back order right now. But it's like if we let expectations go and we open it up and we kind of release it to the creator who we can trust and go, you know what? I trust that you will bring the perfect person in the perfect timing. That's not right. In the perfect way. And when you release that to them, then you can go about living life and not worried about all that stuff. And you can ask Creator and anything that I can do to help you in the process, because I don't want to be pushing things away that you're like, no, that's for you. I sent that to you. Why did you reject it? Why did you return to sender? But we can, be in communion with Creator and go, what can I do to help, bring that perfect person that you have for me into my life? And they're usually going to say, work on you, babe, right? Work on you, boo. Raise your love vibration, remove thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve you anymore, release emotions that don't serve you anymore, lower vibration, right? Release energy that doesn't serve you anymore. Things in your physical world, create the space in your mind and your emotions, your energy in your physical world for what I'm going to bring you. That's what you can do. I'll handle the rest, right? Just give it to me. And I feel like that's what Creator has for you right now, KittyKat Black. So hopefully that resonates for you, and many blessings to you. All right. And then up next, we've got Yadi Colon. So Yadi, let me get your timestamp here. Make sure I got it right there. All right. Let me bring you over here. And you wanted to know, and thank you for your donation earlier. I remember it was about the career, and that one was like, man, not really. Not for you, right? But this one, you want to know, will you get the job as the operations analyst with the company at Home Harmony? All right, let's take a look here. Based on current energies. All right, so here's your two cards here. All right, look at 2 of 4s. So you have the 4 of Wands, which is joy and celebration, which it does show that this is based on current energies. It feels like it is something that would come your way. But this 4 of cups, you see how like those 3 cups on the bottom, do you see how bored that person is? They're actually supposed to be really bored. They're like, really, these 3? That other Ace of Cups is like we were talking about in your first reading, that there is something being offered to you that's more in alignment with your heart, something that would bring you joy. The 4s here with this job feels like it wouldn't be like a joy to work there. It would be like a check off. I'm doing the job here. I don't feel like it's this amazing job that you're really, 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 really wanting. And I know it's difficult to find that, but some things that we can do, close our eyes and open our heart and see, where's my heart leading me? Because our mind is going, we'll try here, 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 here. But the heart, you'll know when your heart is leading you because it feels differently. It doesn't feel like you're checking something off. It feels like you're living and not existing. I think we talked about that already. So I don't feel like this one, you might get it offered, but I don't feel like like spirit's nudging you to accept it, because it's like, this isn't for you. There's something else better, bigger for you. Right. So that's what they have for you, Yadi. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Minahil, you are up. So who's coming towards you in love soon? Let's take a look here. Oh, they did want this one. What else? Okay, not those two. It's like these two. No, no, no. Something else is coming. That's the 2. There's coming soon. They didn't want you to see the cards. I know. But it's because you do have love coming towards you with a Lover's card, but you also have the 7 of Pentacles, which is not soon. I'm so sorry. I know. But that's the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. It's very, you know, slow moving, but it's also, I feel like they're sparing you in a way where, let's say if you got in a relationship now, you would months down the road be like, this is not what I want. It's not bringing me well, it's bringing me the fruit I thought I wanted, but it's not fulfilling me. I want something else. And then there's the, how am I going to end this? How am I going to, you know, not make this weird and not break their heart and not, you know, and so this is that they've been kept away because this is giving you the opportunity to raise your love vibration to, as we were just talking about with KittyKat Black, which is, letting go of thoughts and beliefs that don't serve me anymore, clearing my mind and clearing away emotion, clearing away energy and things in my physical world that just don't, they're just not serving the purpose anymore. They were helping me in my life before, to keep me safe and different things, but it's like they don't serve me anymore, and so I'm clearing things out to raise my love vibration, to draw in that person that matches that, not someone who wouldn't. And that's what's going on right now. So the more you work on those things, the the more you raise your love vibration, your self-love, your self-worth, you know, developing that higher relationship with your higher self, that self-love speeds things up and draws things faster to us that are in alignment with that energy instead of the other, which slows it down instead. So that's what they have coming in right now, Minahil. I know. You're like, I've been working on this for forever. When is it going to start? But the more that we release it and the more we realize, you know, the perfect person is going to be drawn in the perfect way and the perfect timing. And the best thing we can do to make things happen faster is to work on us. And we're like, all right, fine. I'll do that. Thank you. It's for us, right? All right. So that's what they have for you, Minnie Hill. I know. Hang in there, right? All righty. Whoops. Don't think I did that right. Let's try that again. All right. So, Pisces, you are up. Put your timestamp in here. I need like a general for love. Let's take a look here. All right. This is going to be like the previous one. Here's 2 cards. Here's 2. Someone's coming your way, but we can't see it yet. I know. I really want to see him too, but it's a no. Not for right now. So we have the 3 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. So 7 of Cups is there's a lot of different um, options available for you. Like in your lifetime, you didn't, in this particular lifetime, you didn't choose that there's one fated person you're going to end up with. Depending on the choices you make in going forward, there's like 7 different people you could possibly end up in a relationship with. Not all 7 or 7 at the same time. Depending on your path, you'll end up with 1 out of the 7. And you might not even know any of the other 6. And there's a possibility you might know some of them, but you'll end up with 1. And, so that's good to know that there's not a fated, like, absolute, I'm on a collision course with someone that based on my life choices and what I choose for me, I'll end up with someone that matches my choices. The 3 of Cups is about developing your community or finding your 2 besties where you're 3 peas in a pod. Those you will be with your entire life. There are these besties that you guys will be lifelong friends, and that's important. I feel like that's the prerequisite before you meet the person you'll end up with, because these 3 of you help keep each other accountable and staying true to you and not dimming your light or anything along those lines. So I feel like you will meet these 2 besties first. So if you don't have the 2 besties that you're going to be a lifelong friend, um, then that's them. If you have 1, then there's 1 more coming. But it's because you guys do that where, hey, did you fall in love? You're like, yes. How did you know? Well, because you're shrinking, you're dimming your light, like you used to. And you're like, no. And they're like, yeah. And they're like, okay. And then, but you do that for them too. So you guys help keep each other true to being your authentic selves and not letting you shrink yourselves. So I feel like that's where we're at with love right now. So hopefully that helps a little bit. All right. So that's what they have for you, Pisces. Many blessings to you. All right. And then Mysterious, you are up. So let's put your timestamp in here. And Mysterious, you want to know how will you meet your future spouse? Let's take a look here. Based on current energies, you have this one and this one here. All right. We have the 10 of Pentacles, which is my relationship card, and the 5 of Pentacles, not Pentacles, 5 of Swords, sorry. And 5 of Swords, it's a conflicting energy here. And um, in the 10 of Pentacles, I just feel like this represents an outside place. But there's this interesting energy because I feel like with the 10 of Pentacles, like it's a gathering, maybe even a wedding, but it's definitely like a gathering and a celebration type of energy. And this 5 of Swords is like it's um it's bantering. That's a good word, bantering, because you're not arguing, but you're picking on each other. You're bantering back and forth, kind of being sassy with one another. And it could be like you're put at a table with someone and you're just like, all right, you know, whatever. And you're like, well, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, and you like it because you both are able to bring your little sassy bantering back and forth to where it's really you're attracted to each other. But I feel like that's how you meet. And people at the table are like, oh my God, why don't you guys just get a room? Because there's like this tension that's there, this attraction that everyone notices, and you both notice it too. But you're all blah, 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 blah. And it starts off that way. But then, you know, you eventually, you know, get each other's numbers or whatever, but I feel like that's how you meet in that kind of a scenario, because you both need someone who's fiery, not someone who's boring, right? All right, so that's what they have for you right now, for you mysterious. So many blessings to you. We can dive in more uh, if you want to come back for more readings tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Sunday. All right. All right, and then we have M, the letter M. So what major is happening soon in your life? So what major event or thing is happening in your life? What does Spirit wants you to know? What major thing? I feel like it's these two here. All right. Well, it's this one too, but we'll we'll bring that in here. We got you do have the ending of a significant situation with the World card, beginning of a new cycle, and the Page of Cups. I do feel like it has to do with love. You have the Two of Wands too, which is about the world is at your fingertips there. The Two of Wands. And it's you're choosing this direction. Yeah, even in this one, there's two wands in either of her hands, but it's like you choose to go um, where you're wanting to go with that Two of Wands. You're the one that decides the change that comes in here. So I don't feel like the major happening is something that's happening like where it feels outside of your control, where you're like, oh, this is where we're going now. It feels like you're like, you know what? I've reached this point, and this has to do with self love and love, but I've reached this and I'm done with this. I'm ready to go to the next level. Both of the world card and the pages are about going to a higher level, a new level of love, a new level of emotion. But the Two of Wands is saying that it's you that initiates this, it's your power. Whether consciously or unconsciously, we are always choosing with our energy, whatever our energy is focusing on, whoever we're being is what we draw to us. And I feel like you're tired of going in circles, tired of doing the same old thing, and I feel like you're ready to make a big change that comes up here. So you are the one that's making a major change. And I feel like it's of the heart. So it could be love, but it could also be about how you're expressing love in the world, which so you could be changing career, doing something more you love with your life, whatever it may be. It is heart decided, not mind decided. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what's coming in right now for you, M. So many blessings to you. All right. And then we have Minu is up next. So Minu, let me put your timestamp down here. All right, and bring you over here. So, Minu, when will you meet your future spouse? Time frame. All right, let's see here. Will Spirit give you time? They're all about divine timing. It'll be the perfect time. We know, but we're human. We want to know these things, right? All right. Well, I feel here you've got the Four of Swords, which is peace of mind. Five of Wands is drama. So it's after some drama ends here. Um 4 to 5. What's 4 to 5? It's not 4 to 5 days. 4 to 5 months would seem more like the energy I'm feeling. And this is based on current energies, but yeah, I feel like 5 of Wands is based on current energy, so, like, 5 months, but the Four of Swords is if you're able to drop some expectations and clear out some thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve you anymore, that it could come, like, a month earlier. But, yeah, it feels like 4 to 5 months, here with that, with timing, based on current energies, um, and then there's nothing else. So, that's what they have for you. I was like, And they're like, "No, period." So, I think you just wanted it short and sweet, and they gave it to you short and sweet. So that's what they have for you, mean you. Many blessings to you. All right, and then we have Queen. You are up. Let me make sure I put that right. Nobody sure did not. I'll try that. There we go. So, Queen, you want the personality of your future spouse. All right. What can they tell us about the personality of your future spouse? All right. Well, we like this. So, we'll start with the Emperor. Emperor, they're the ruler of all four kings. So they're a very well-rounded person because they rule over the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the King of Swords, the King of Cups. So they've got a lot of mental energy, though. That's 5 parts mind. They do have earth and air. I mean, earth and water and wands too. So they got the fire and the. So they have the passion. They have the emotion. They have the groundedness and all that. But they're very intelligent, very mind focused. And with the Chariot card, they are a mover shaker. They make these are decision making energies, and they very much, I mean, they're just very intelligent. And so when they're making decisions, they make it a lot from their mind. But because of that, I feel like they've been very successful. But they still are well rounded because they still have the all four kings that are within their personality, right? But I feel like they go towards more so they can communicate, great communicators, very intelligent. It would be something like, let's say, a psychologist or a counselor, right? They are very intelligent, and they've had a lot of training and a lot of schooling, but they know how to communicate and, um, clearly as well, as I'm not, right? But they also have the Four of Wands, so joy and celebration, energy. So they have a very joyful kind of personality. It is a marriage card, so they are very much built for marriage. Um, this well-rounded energy. Probably a marriage counselor. I'm just kidding. But I like that. So some good energies that are there. We got Cancer energy, Aries energy. Four of Wands can be any of the fire signs, but I definitely feel like there's great fire and water, um, balanced energy there. So steamy. All right. So hopefully that helps a little bit there, Queen. That's what they have for you. So many blessings to you. Right. And Dark Fairy, you are up next. Let's bring you down here. Let's bring a few of these down here while we're here, just to make it easier. All right. So, Dark Fairy, have you already met your future spouse? All right. Let's take a look here. Have you already met your future spouse? I feel like it's these two. All right. Not yet. Because you have the Emperor card, which is like a decision-making energy I'm getting through here, but with the 7 of Wands, this is someone standing out from the crowd. So I don't feel like you've met them yet. This Emperor, like we just had the Emperor, but it represents like they rule over 4 kings. It's a well-rounded individual. I feel like they're telling me it's someone like someone you haven't met before. And not just that you haven't met them before, it's like no one you've met before. And you're just like, wow, really impressed by them. And the 7 of Wands, I feel, is how you meet them because I feel one of you is standing out from the crowd, literally, like on a stage or speaking or teaching or something where it's them and then a crowd, or you in the crowd, and you spot each other. And even though, let's say you're in the crowd and let's say they're speaking, for an example, and they keep looking at you. They wander and they talk, but they always end up stopping and looking at you, and then they wander and, they stop and they're looking at you, and you're just like, "Is he looking at me?" He and he smiles and, um, and winks at you or whatever, right? But I feel like you're like, even though one is in a crowd and one's on stage, you're both standing out to each other, if that makes sense. So that's what they have for you, Dark Fairy. Ooh la la. I like it. All right. So many blessings. All right. And then we have Manhal. You are up. So Manhal, hopefully I'm not pronouncing that too badly. You want to know who is coming towards you in love soon? All right, let's take a look here. All right. So just one. All right. Oop, I want this one here too. All right. So who is coming towards you soon? Well, you do have the star card, which is like your dream come true energy that's here. And the 5 of Wands here. 5 of Wands is an energy where it starts off feeling conflicting energy, but it ends up being something very loving. It's a transformation of energy. And I got something similar to this before, but because it starts off conflicting, the other person, it was like at a wedding and they're at the table together. But this feels different. This feels like someone from like a friend group, you know. And I feel like it's not necessarily like, let's say you hang out with a group of friends, it's like, oh, that's this friend over here. It doesn't feel like it feels like one person removed. It's like a friend of a friend. So someone who's in your friend group, I feel, is who comes in, and it's not like it's set up either. Like, I want you meet this friend of mine. I think you guys would be great together. It's nothing like that where it's a setup, right? Because those are just awful, aren't they? But this is like you're hanging out with them, and like you were going to hang out with your friend, one of your friends, and they're like, "Yeah, let's go to this, theater or to this movie or something like that." And you're like, "Cool." And you're like, "Oh, do you mind if I bring a friend of mine along? They wanted to see that movie too, or that play or whatever, right?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, that's fine, that's fine." And you're like, "Who is that?" And that's how I feel like it comes in for you. So that's who is coming towards you in love soon. I know, how exciting. Yeah, so you're gonna accept every invitation that your friends invite you out in. All right. So many blessings to you. All right, and then Stargazer, you are up next. So Stargazer, let me get your timestamp here. So where will you meet your future spouse? All right, that's a theme tonight. Let's take a look here and see where you meet yours. Let's see here. Wow, you got the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So for yours, the Queen of Pentacles is about creation, creativity. It's like the Empress, but it's Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, following your heart. And the Page of Pentacles is about you going and doing something, learning something, um, doing something different. And this is where you meet this other person. This is where you meet your spouse. So it's like, it's not in trying to find a spouse that you find them. That just takes you down, you know. It's like hiring somebody for a job and they keep lying on their resume, keep having to fire people and rehire them. That's what trying to find love is like, right? And but when we're looking at doing what you love, doing something that your heart desires, and like I want to go learn, you know, how to cook Cajun style food. I'm going to take a Cajun cuisine class. And your friends are like, "You're crazy. We don't want to go." And like, "Fine, I'll go by myself." And so you go by yourself. And then there's also someone that went there by themselves. Everyone else has friends and people they're with and spouses, and so they're like, "Well, we need to um it's two per station. So do you mind sharing with them?" Like, "Oh no, not at all. Where are you from?" Blah 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 blah, da, da, ha, ha, ha. And you're having this good old time, and you not didn't expect anything from it because you're there to learn how to cook this cuisine, and you're doing it and everything, and you're just having such a good time, and then that class comes to an end. They're like, "Oh, all right, well, very nice to meet you. You too. And are you coming back next week for the Szechuan style cooking?" I'm like, "I wasn't going to," and they're like, "Well, it's this and that." And they're, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to sign up. Hey, do you want to just go? You know, um, do you want to sign up together?" And you're like, "Sure, that sounds great." And one thing leads to another. That's the kind of where you'll meet your future spouse. I like that. It doesn't have to be cuisine, of course. It's whatever, you know, your desire is, whatever your hobby, what you would like to do is. All right. So that's what they have for you, Stargazer. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Misha, you are up. Hello, hello. Let me put your timestamp down here. So a general love reading. Let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know about love? All right. There's these two here. So got the Page of Swords and the Three of Cups. So you do have here the Three of Cups is, it's this energy of groups, and the Page of Swords is about clarity and new communication coming in here. So this Three of Cups, let's talk about them for a moment, because I'm getting this energy of like it has to do with a group of people. And it's I feel like you've got best friends in this group, but there's also other people. Because usually this Three of Cups is like you're getting two besties and blah blah blah. But then I'm like, no, it's a community, but it's besties and community. It's like a combination where you have a group of friends where like you have your best friends in it, but there's other people there too that aren't like with you. And I do feel like people kind of come in and out of this group, but you have like a core that like you are like this with, um, but it's someone that comes in here, that comes in and out of this friend group, um, and it's not anybody I correct that. It is somebody you've met before, but just got introduced to them. They're like, "Hey, everybody, this is my friend, blah blah blah," and everyone's like, "Hey, blah blah blah," and you really don't talk to them. It's just more nice to meet you, and that's it. Because I think they have to leave or they have to go something like that. But there is this that's where the connection starts. And so I feel like this person returns to the group, and then you're able to sit next to them or talk to them or interact with them more. And then there's that spark then. But I don't feel like you've had the spark before. In fact, you might not even remember meeting each other until someone's like, "Yeah, you remember you met him, blah, blah, blah," and you're like, "Oh, yeah, I remember now," because it was uneventful at that time, just because of the distractions, whatever was going on. Maybe even you both were dating someone else, and so you didn't have that you weren't open to but now you're both, like, open. Alright, so that's what's coming in for you right now, Misha. So many blessings to you. Right, and then Blacklife, you are up. Let me put your timestamp in here. Alright. So, Blacklife, you wanna know, is there someone new you're gonna meet in 2025? Alright. All this love in the air, right? Well, Venus did move into Aries, I believe, right? So there's a lot of action around love. Let's take a look here. Is there someone new, based on your current energy, that you're going to meet in 2025? Okay, boom, boom. All right, not just one, but two. You got the Two of Pentacles, and then also the Justice card, which is the balancing scales that are there. So, sorry, I heard something move. I think it was a rock in the the candle. I'm like, I just heard something. There is movement, but there is this two individuals, but I feel like you will balance them out because both of these are balancing energies that are in here. So I do feel like there are two people that are headed your way. I feel like the one comes first into the life, and it's like not really like, a big impact. I feel when I get these kind of cards, it's like, well, on one hand, it's the brain deciding, well, this is someone that, yeah, it meets my criteria, what my brain wants. But then there's on this side, the one the heart wants and goes, wow, right? And it's like, but they don't have the things that this person has. But it's like, it'd be like having a job that looks really good, you get paid really well, but you really it's not something you enjoy. And the other is, like, lower pay, but you love it, and it ends up being the best job ever 'cause you're able to move up faster because you love it, and it's effortless because you put your heart into it, and it's like, "Wow!" Like, I get paid for working and doing this? And that's the kind of energy, but I feel like this one comes first, and it's like it's the counterfeit, it's the false, one that the brain wants, but wait, and things will balance out, and the heart will come after that. So I do feel like you do meet 2 people, but the first one, pass, and the second one will be like, "Yes." Don't choose the first one because thinking, "Well, maybe this is as good as I can get." No, don't do it. Alright, so that's what's coming in for you, Black Life. So many blessings to you. Alright, let me bring some more down here. Thank you guys again for your patience in getting to your readings here. Alright. Right, Victoria Huber-Ramirez. Hello, hello. Good to see you. There we go. And your question is, what is coming towards you this weekend? Let's take a look. All right. There we go. All right. Well, you have a little bit of alone time with the High Priestess card because the High Priestess, of course, steps away, goes into our High Priestess temple, connects with spirit, looks behind the veil, dives deep into the emotions. So there is that little bit of solitude and connection with spirit energy. You also have the Chariot. Chariot is both of these are water energy, the High Priestess, and the Chariot is Cancer sign. So that's a lot of emotion ruled by the moon. So a lot of moon energy here, important. In fact, the moon just went into Cancer yesterday morning. So this weekend it's changing from Cancer and going into Leo, right? Yeah. And the Chariot card is a movement, it is a choice card. And I just, with this high priestess being the number two, which is power of choice between two things, too, kind of some choice energy. I just feel like it's important this weekend to kind of step back before making any decisions and just sit with it with your heart and kind of just get into quietness. And if anyone pushes you to make a decision, I need to know right now. And then the answer is no. And they're like, oh, take your time. Right. Because I don't feel like rushing into decisions is like deterred from this, and stepping back, trusting your gut, trusting your intuition with the high priestess too. But I feel like it is movement. It's happy, it's victory type of energy that comes in with the chariot, but very much choices are important this weekend, and not rushing into choices is important this weekend. If you need a day, take a day. Don't let anyone force you into making decisions. And it's okay to say no. No is a complete sentence. Of course, we can say, no, I need some time for me today. Thank you. I appreciate it, and okay. I mean, what can people say to that, right? But I do feel like it's an important time to step back and really look at some things because it's important decisions, I feel like. So don't rush into anything. Trust your gut. If your gut is telling you something, don't dismiss it. Go, let me wait on this. So hopefully that helps. That's what they have for you right now, Victoria. So many blessings to you. Then Fairy Tale, you are up. Let me grab your timestamp here. There we go. So Fairy Tale, will you meet someone romantically this year? All right, let's take a look here. Whoa, all right. So they did want that, but not those, but this one. All right. Will you? Well, thinking that you will. We have the Four of Wands, which is joy and celebration. It's also a marriage card. And Six of Swords it's a transition and it's a movement card. It's leaving behind old ways of thinking, moving to new ways of thinking. And I do feel like it's more like possibilities of meeting someone romantically this year, because there is this requirement with the Six of Swords of leaving behind some old ways, right? Clearing these expectations, releasing some expectations, which allows this movement, allows this joy, allows this equal attraction energy to come in here. Otherwise, we might be like, uh, kind of stuck in a list of who someone is supposed to be and should be and need to be in. And we're like, oh no, I don't want to talk to them. So we're closed minded, and so we close the door on it, right? But it's about being open minded, and even if it's like, hey, I think you'd be great. You'd no expectations, but I think you would get along with my cousin. Well, I'm just gonna. Do you mind if I just give him your number, or I'm gonna be at this party. You want to go with me and meet him? And you're like, meh, sure, why not? What's the worst thing could happen? I could leave it with a friend. And then boom, right? So I feel like it's that kind of opportunity. You have to open your mind, and yes, you'd be able to. But the if we have a list of expectations, and the filter by which we filter out people, this is more about being more open-minded this year. Next year, you can close it down. This year, open-minded. All right, so that's what they have for you, Fairy Tale. So, many blessings to you. All righty. Up next, we've got Momo7. Hello, Momo. Let's see, did I get that right? Yeah, I did. All right. So, Momo, when will you get married? Let's take a look here. What will Spirit share with you about the when? What can we know about the when? That one and this one. All right. Ugh. Ugh. I know. Whenever I get a waiting card, like the Seven of Pentacles is one of those. The last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. But the good news is that we have the Death card here, which means somewhere between now and death is when you'll get married. I'm just kidding. Ha 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 ha. I know it's not very funny. But I like it because this is the end of the waiting. So I do feel excuse me, the 7 is July, of course, of this year, and then 13, the death card would be January of next year. So right now you do have a range that you'll get married between, and it may not be this year, but you'll it's like between July and January, kind of a wedding is when you'd get married. This year feels a little bit too soon for that to happen, but I do feel like you'll meet them between July and January of this coming year. And the next year? The next year even feels too soon. Is it the year after? It's either next year or the year after. So either you get married in 2026 going into 2027, like January, or 2027 going into 2028 January. But that's the kind of energy I feel it's coming in here based on current energies, because um, how we can speed things up in our life is the more we focus on raising our own love vibration by releasing thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve us anymore, emotions that don't serve us anymore, energy that doesn't serve anymore, physical things that don't serve us anymore. All those things are anchors that slow things down. But as we cut those, and that helps raise our vibration, that speeds everything up and brings things in fast, 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 fast. So that is what they have for you right now, Momo. So hopefully that helps. All right. Many blessings to you. All right. And then Livier Vergara, you are up. So Livier, you'd like to ask a message or a suggestion on how to be with Alice to be in a good, healthy relationship. All right. Let's take a sip here. So how to have a good, healthy relationship advice. All right. And this one. Leave behind. No. What? We have leave behind emotions. You have both the 8 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is leave behind emotions and relationships that don't serve you anymore. And the 8 of Swords, it's also leaving behind mindsets and thoughts and beliefs that don't serve us anymore. So both of them are, in order to have a healthy relationship outwardly, we need to have a healthy relationship inwardly. But when we have our these mindsets that are rooted in fear, small t truths, expectations, right? And emotions from the past that don't serve us, to have a good, healthy relationship is to let go of stuff that doesn't serve anymore, both mental and emotional energies. And really dropping expectations. When we focus on what someone is and what we're grateful about, what we love about someone, then we're able to our relationships with people grow, whether that's romantic, friends, family, coworkers, whatever. Because whenever we're focusing on this 8 of Swords, the supposed to be, should be, need to be, we do feel trapped, we do feel bound, we do feel restricted, but we're also focusing on all the what's not happening. And whatever we focus on grows, right? So if I'm focusing on what people aren't doing and what's not unfolding, whatever, then more of that happens. And then the friendship, relationship, right? But when I'm focusing on what I love about someone, even communicating it with them, right? Because we tend to nag people about, well, you're not doing this, you're not doing this. Why'd you say that? You're not doing it. You're not being who I want you to be, right? Who wants to hear that all the time, right? We don't want to hear that. Um, but when you hear like, you know what I love about you? Tell me more, right? Who doesn't want to be in a relationship where you're sharing gratitude? And if it's just from you in the beginning, And then it's just doing the beginning, right? Specifically telling someone what you love about them and giving an example, you know what I love about you? You never give up on your friends. Like when Joe was trying to push you away because he was going through some depression and you wouldn't let him. And I feel like you saved his life. I love that about you. Wow, right? So that's what I feel like spirit wants you to know is like for any relationship, focus on what we love and then that grows, right? If we focus on what we don't like and blah blah, then we get more of that. All right. So that's what they have for you right now, Olivier. So many blessings to you. All right. Let me just bring the last of these down here. We're getting there, everybody. Hang in there. Whoops. And thanks for all the thumbs up. I really appreciate all of the support. It helps spread the Zen love. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, there we go. So Alisha, you are up. Let's get your timestamp here. All right. So Alisha. So you have an exam on the 4th of May. Ooh, that's coming up here. How will it go? Will you score 630 plus marks, and will you get a meta? Will you get into medical college this year? All right, let's take a look here. So let's see here. Will you get a score of 650 plus? Okay, and will you get into medical school? All right. Well, you have the Hanged Man here for the exam. This is about seeing things from a different perspective. Let's see what medical school. Well, you got medical school, you got the 3 of Cups, which is joy and celebration. That would be an affirmative that you get into medical school. The Hanged Man, it is about transformation. It is about seeing things differently. Hmm, you know, about movement, transition, transformation. This is like, are you transferring to like a different school? Are you getting like, you're starting off somewhere and transferring? Because this energy of the Hanged Man is transformation from like caterpillar into the cocoon to butterfly. So it is a very transformational energy about seeing things from a higher perspective. So, whatever your score is here, it does bring a lot of clarity. It does have you look at where you're going and what you're doing, and, um, I feel like it makes you make a different decision. So that's either but it feels bright, it doesn't feel darker, it almost feels like you score really well where you're able to go somewhere different than you thought you wouldn't be able to go. So I don't know if you have a couple medical colleges and one has like a higher, threshold to get in, and you're like, "Well, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to get in there," and boom, you do, and you're like, "I can apply there," you know? I feel like it's that kind of energy, so it feels like you do very well. So, that's what's coming in for you, Alicia. Smarty pants. Alright, many blessings to you. Alright. And then we have Ashu, patyal, and did I murder that? I apologize if I did. Alright, and so you wanna know, why are you seeing owls again and again and hearing the voice of an owl? Is there any message from your spirit guides? Who? I'm just kidding. Who oh, look, card came flying out. Uh, evidently so, you got one card here. What else? Okay, and that one there. So what is the message from the owl? Mm, yeah. So definitely the 8 of Cups is about walking away from emotions, but more specifically relationships that don't serve anymore to start at this new adventure, the Fool with the 0 here. So it's like this is you heading off and this is you starting your new adventure. So there very much is this, you know, starting something like out of the ordinary. Um, because it's really standing out to me. We have the moon and the sun here on the Eight of Cups, and then this big sun that's coming out here. And it's like making this choice. It's the difference between day and night. That's interesting with the owl because they're nocturnal, right? Most of them are nocturnal, but it's like difference between night and day. It's like open your eyes, see things for what they are. Um, and this is about walking away from emotion that doesn't serve you, but I feel like it's important about relationships that don't serve anymore. Because this combo is when we realize one, if we have emotions that we're pushing down and keeping suppressed, that takes emotional energy. And so transforming and doing your shadow work, I know blah blah blah. I feel like you've done that and you know that. And so you've gained a lot of that emotion back. But then there's relationships with people. These would be the ones where you've been consistently giving 70, 80, 90% all the time. And they've only been giving 10, 20, 30% consistently, where relationships can fluctuate and go back and forth. But these are the ones where you're keeping the relationships alive. You're the one that's doing it all, and some of them are like, they need to it's, uh, you know, friends that you've been with forever, and you're the one that's always initiating contact, and you're like, "You know what? I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm done. I'm ready. I'm not, this is a bad investment of my emotional energy." But all this is about you bringing all this emotion back into your emotional bank to prepare you for an emotional um, expenditure. Meaning, if you're not in a relationship already, this is preparing to bring in a relationship. Because if you don't have enough emotion built up in your heart, then your heart won't draw in someone, because it's like, I don't have the energy to feed them, so I'm not going to invite them and your heart won't be open until it has enough. It feels it can give and receive a love. And I feel like that's what's going on right now. And I feel like this who, you're hearing the voice of an owl, that it's this indication. And oh, wow, look at, even on this little screen here, here's this owl coming in. So, it is this energy of guiding you to leave and to um, look at things from a higher perspective and realize it's okay. And maybe a relationship, I can go to 50%. If they don't make up the difference and it drifts away, then you can take all 50%. Some relationships, chop, chop, I'm done. Others, you're like, well, I'm going to give it a chance. Well, then take it to 50% and see what they do. If they make up the difference, okay, it's good. If they don't and it drifts away, then you can get the full amount back. So hopefully that helps. I feel like that's what's coming through for you right now. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Starseed A, you are up. So Starseed A. So Ashul, how AJ, your specific person, sister, Babita thinks about you exactly? Okay, let's take a look here. So both your specific person, AJ, and your sister, how do they both think about you? Exactly. Well, that changes because other people's opinions of us are through their filter, right? So, like, if I'm feeling good, I think of you this way. If I wake up feeling sick, I think differently of you, right? Depending on how I am, because that's the whole thing. That's why other people's opinions of us are none of our business, because they're not about us. They're fluctuating. It's never like exactly. It's like you'd have to go exactly right. Now, how do they think about me? And then it could change 5 minutes later, right? So we'll get the consensus kind of average, how they're feeling about you based on current energy ish. But that's the whole thing because tomorrow they could feel differently, right? So let's take a look here. AJ first, after we say all that, right? And then your sister, Babita. All right, there she is. So how does AJ? All right. So the King of Swords. King of Swords rules over swords, gets a second portion of swords, very much in their head. And so when you're saying, how do they think about you? This is a big thinker, very logical, very, but they see you as this way. They're very much in their head too, like Capricorn, Virgo, air signy type of energy where they overanalyze and da 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 da, but they also see you as someone who big thinker, big talker, communicate a lot. Um, but they're really it feels like a very mental type of relationship. Um, so that's why I feel like they're like air signy or like Virgo Capricorn also very in their heads to where you would want to ask them, how do you think about me? And how do you feel about me? It's like acting, asking, Spock from Star Trek, how do you feel? And they're like, what? That's illogical, It's the kind of feeling I have from it's very much a mental relationship um, with them. Interesting. And then Babita, Three of Wands. You know, how do I feel like the way that this energy comes in, it's like she feels like you're always changing your mind. You're always going a different direction. Like you say you're going this way and you do for a while and then something happens. You're like, oh, I'm going to do this. And I feel like you don't do things the way she thinks that you should. And you're always changing your mind. And from her standpoint, like she's very fixed. She likes you do this and you stick with it. You never alter course. And so because she's afraid if she does, she'll be judged harshly for it, right? And I feel like there's fear in it and that's why she doesn't like you doing it because she likes to have things consistent but you change and you fluctuate, and which is great. It's flexibility is good, but to some, maybe she's a fixed sign. She's like, no, I don't like it. I don't like change. I really, really don't like change. And you change more than she appreciates. Um, and that's the kind of energy that's coming in, what they want you to know right now. Hopefully that gives you what you were looking for here. But it's and you can be like, "Oh my god, that's them," which is what we do. We're all mirrors for one another. We only see in other people what we recognize within ourselves. So a good question you can ask yourself is, what do you see in them? What do you think of them? That will tell you about how you feel about yourself, which is really the best use of our energy. Because what other people think of us is fickle and ever changing. We don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. So our opinion of everyone else has to do with our opinion of ourselves. And we're all looking at reflections. So I feel like that's an important thing. So hopefully that helps. All right. So that's what they have for you. So many blessings. All right, everybody, almost there. Hang in there. So lucky, we're going to put you at 223.23 just because it's great numbers. All right. So, how are you, Lucky? So, you're going to know, does JT initials have cameras good impact on your future? So does JT initials have cameras good impact on your future? All right, let's take a look here. All right, these, nope, I wanted these two. All right, does it have? It feels here, there is the possibilities. The Page of Pentacles is about positive impact. But also the high priestess does talk about intuition, trusting your gut, trusting your instincts as well. So it's like they can have a good impact, but there is some hidden things with the high priestess of having things uh, hidden come to light, right? So I feel like they do have a good impact on your future, but there's hidden things to be aware of. Go in with your eyes open, don't walk in it with your eyes closed or, with a limited view. Go in really aware that there's hidden things that will come forward and that you need to know. But overall, it feels like it's overall beneficial for your impact on your future. But just do your research, make sure you're aware, um, trust your gut, trust your instinct. It's important for you, for the positive impact for that. So hopefully that makes sense. Right? So that's what they have for you, Lucky. So many blessings to you. Right. And then lastly, but not leastly, Mars. Hello, hello. You'd like a reading on W. All right. Let's take a look here. See what spirit will bring you in around W here. We're a minute past midnight here. Oh my gosh. I'm going to turn into a pumpkin. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I was going to say, do you have a pumpkin? No, it's not a pumpkin. That's Mars. It looks like a pumpkin. It's orange, at least on my screen. Let's see here. What is W? What's going on with W here? Right. There is a change here of mindsets because you have the Four of Swords and the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is about seeing things from a different perspective, leaving behind old ways of thinking, moving to new ways of thinking. It's transformation, change, right? Four of Swords is about peace of mind, but it is both of these are energies about letting expectations go, seeing things differently, clearing away things too. So I like it. It feels it's flowy energy, it's mental peace, mental flow energy, movement, moving from rest, something that's been resting and sitting, and there is some movement and change that comes in, but it is positive change, I really feel here, because again, it's this letting go of small t truths rooted in fear, seeing things from a higher perspective that allow positive change to be made, positive transformation to happen. Again, moving from choppy waters to calmer waters with the Six of Swords. So conflict is resolved, moving things from another step, because in between the Four of Swords and the Six of Swords is the Five of Swords, which is conflict of head and heart, but also external conflict. And I feel like there's something that changes. There's something that jumps from one level to another without a whole lot of inner conflict going on. So that's the kind of energy that I'm feeling right now. Hopefully that helps with what you were wanting to know around W. But it does feel like whatever, if there was conflict before and there's rest, I feel like it leaps ahead because of whatever happened before. I feel like there's a like skipping a grade in school. You did so well, you're skipping a grade to go to another stage, another step. So hopefully that makes sense to you. All right, that's what they have for you, Mars. So many blessings to you, and thank you guys so much for all your patience and getting to all your readings. As soon as I end here, within 30 seconds, I will post a comment listing everyone's names and your timestamp so you can find your reading lickety lickety split. So I'll be back tomorrow morning. Actually, this morning, since it's midnight, after midnight, in less than 11 hours, I'll be back for my morning session. And then back tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And then on Sunday, too, at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So until I see you guys again, remember every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. Remember, have fun. Because why are we being so serious? All right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.